Good morning, everyone. It's Marty Harger with the Essential Yoga Program, and today I want to introduce you to my new Spring Fever blend. And the reason that I'm talking about this is that this is a time of year in the early spring where the wind, I think nature gives us a lot of signals about what's happening for people emotionally and mentally. And I feel like in our yoga practice, whether that is at home or it's a yoga practice that you are doing in a studio, I really think that this is a time of year where there's a lot of almost overwhelming energy. I know for many people who are sensitive to energy in the planet, we find that the winds of spring, where we have this alternating activity between sunshine and warmth, so that promise of hope of the future, that optimism, that bright lightning feeling comes up. And then we get a couple of days of rain and we get down and we're like, oh, I can't handle it. It's so much. We feel this burdensome feeling. But we recognize that the rain or snow, in my case, is part of what creates that beautiful process on our earth of creating a whole environment. That the rain is required, of course, for the plants to grow, and the plants therefore can help feed us as we use our essential oils. So as I was thinking a lot about what I'm sensing from friends, what I'm sensing from family, from community, is that there's a lot of energy flying around right now. And I call that spring fever because some days it's happy energy, like almost manic, chaotic, like get it done. Oh my gosh, we're going to do this. We're going to try that. We're going to do this. And then it's like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. There's too much going on. So we've gone from this sedating time of year, the sedative internal hibernation winter, and we're bursting out in spring. And there's sort of this whole in, out fluctuation going on in nature. And so as I thought about this, what can sometimes become overwhelming energy, I did a little thinking about the resources that I have available and some that I'd recommend to you. One of them is a book by a guy named Gabriel Moje, and his book is called Aromatherapy for Healing the Spirit. And for many of you, I think this would be a super oil book for your reference library. But what I love about Gabriel Moje, among many things, is that he talks about some essential oil uses for solutions, if you will. So right now, I think in doTERRA, we are all on just this kind of roller coaster. It's great, but the company is growing. There are new products. Some of us have come back from the leadership retreat. We are just got the convention tickets and hotel rooms and all that craziness that happened on April Fool's Day. Kind of funny about that. But we also now are gearing up for the healing, healthy, I'm not going to say it right now, but the healthy living tour that's going on all over the country in the US and Canada. And we've got that excitement, and we've got new products, and we have Mother's Day, and we have boom, 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 boom. So things are shooting up like almost little buds shooting up out of the ground. And some days that's super exciting, and we get that spring fever high energy. And sometimes it's too much. We're like, wow, I've got to back off. This is like a little bit too much for me. So as I thought about this, I thought, what a great time of year to be creative with your essential oils and to tap into the knowledge of some of the great aromatherapists around the world to create your own little blend that can serve you. So I created a blend, and it's going to incorporate 4 essential oils, and I'm going to make that for you today. And that is with some information from not only Gabriel Moje, but of course this beautiful Emotions and Essential Oils book that we also all love, and I hope that you get one of those. But Aromatherapy for Healing the Spirit by Gabriel Moje goes into some really in detail some of the impact that essential oils can have for us. And because the energy to me is about creating balance right now in the spring, the high wind energy, the light flighting, heating energy of spring combined with the rains, kind of that whole, how do we come back into balance? And the oils are so beautiful about doing that for us in our yoga practice and in our life. So I took a look at some of the things that I was sensing from people, which is a sense of anxiety, actually, or anxiousness about what's to come, and even a concern about how to manage the up and down of spring. It makes a great reason to bring the essential oils into your yoga practice. So the blend I'm going to tell you about today, as I started to say, is going to incorporate some of the essential oils. I'm going to use Melissa. I'm going to use a little bit of Melissa, by the way, is the oil of light. I want you to think about these oils as I'm explaining them. I'm going to add some lavender for kind of a combination for communication and calm. I'm going to add vetiver, the oil of centering and descent. So centering and bring it down, all that high energy. Woo! So the oil of light, bring us up, right? It's a rainy day, bring us up with the Melissa. Vetiver, it's a sunny day, I've got so much going on, bring it down a little bit. Lavender, how to create calm with that and to help us communicate what we're feeling. And then I'm going to add a little bit of geranium. And geranium is the oil of love and trust. And that is so that we can really have a sense that, we can trust this process, that it is natural to feel those swings that are going on, that high energy, the exhaustion or fear, the pushback, that kind of pulsing that's going on in nature is what's happening under the ground. It's what's creating the beautiful plants, what's creating the essential oils themselves. So I have this little teeny bottle, and I hope that I can demonstrate this for you today. But let me tell you a little bit about why I chose these oils of Melissa, lavender, geranium, and vetiver to make my spring fever blend. And that is from to quote Gabriel Moje, lavender and Melissa are best employed for anxiety in those who feel oppressed and suffocated by situations or other people. They are called for, meaning Melissa and lavender, in addition, for anxiety that is compounded by a sense of emotional confusion, where there is profound conflict of duties and desires, or the feeling of not knowing where to turn. So sometimes when we have this high-low energy, we're like, I don't know, am I crazy? Is this like happening to just me? Is this happening to other people? Why can't I absorb all this new information? I'm feeling really energized, but wow, that's a lot. I can't handle all of it. So vetiver is similar in nature in terms of an emotional oil, but here's the interesting thing about geranium and vetiver. Geranium, according to Gabriel Moje in his book, he talks about the fact that these oils, geranium and vetiver, are called for in the condition where we have nervous anxiety of those not by nature emotional. So people who tend to be overachievers and have little time for feelings, vetiver oil, the oil of centering and descent, is similar in nature. It helps to restore a sense of rooted stability to those who are feeling anxious and disembodied. Both of these oils, meaning vetiver and geranium, may be used for fear or panic attacks. So not that you're having a panic attack, I don't mean to put that on you, or anxiety, but I will tell you that it is natural in the spring to feel this sort of rubber banding expansion, contraction, high energy, low energy, high energy, low energy. It's the fluctuation as we move into the seasons of the year. So as this happens, what we're going to do is create this blend. So I hope I can show you this, and I'm going to move my camera down to show you what's going on here at my desk. So I am going to start with what I always do with the oils is I drip them first, and then I go in and add the coconut oil. So I'm going to make this a roller bottle because I thought this would be a super blend, the Spring Fever blend, to put together for, oops, I got to move these back, to put together for a yoga practice. So I'm going to start with Melissa because that's the first one, the oil of light. And I'm going to use 2 drops of Melissa in my blend, okay? So I hope that you'll be able to see this. 1, 2. Should have probably taken all the lids off before I started this project. So anyway, 2 drops of Melissa. Now, one of the beautiful things about blending with doTERRA essential oils is this is going to really be up to you guys. This is going to really be about you making a blend that is aromatically pleasing to you, because I've just talked about emotionally how these oils are going to benefit you. So as we do that, I'm going to move on to lavender. I've got 2 drops of Melissa. I'm going to add, in this case, 5 drops of lavender. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now I'm going to add 1 drop of geranium. Why? Geranium is a really powerful aromatic oil, as most of you know, and geranium is the oil of love and trust. So what that means is that you need to love and trust that the universe literally is providing you with a method to pulse your energy. This is purposeful. It's to try to help you burst forth into what you're going to become this year. So the last one I'm going to add is vetiver. And for those of you that have vetiver, you know that vetiver can take a little while. So we may be here for a bit as I tell you a little bit more about vetiver. One of the things about vetiver, which comes from Haiti, it's one of our co-impact sourcing oils, is that it is an oil that once you open the bottle, a little bit of air gets in, and when that happens, the resin begins to thicken. And so you can dilute your vetiver, you can rub it between your hands, and I'll just show you that in fact right now, is you take the bottle and you just roll it a little bit or hold it in your hand to make it a little bit thinner and less viscous, more runny. And you can also add coconut oil to it. Some people run it under hot water before they begin to drip it. So we'll see if that made any difference. I don't know, maybe not. But, oh, looks like it's coming out now. Here we go. Sweet little vetiver. Come and play with us. So as you are creating your blend, and as I say, there's no perfect recipe. This is about understanding about the oils and what impact you are trying to create with them. So with the vetiver, it's going to be kind of a thick oil. Here comes 1 little drop. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love vetiver oil. It's so calming. So there's our drop of vetiver. Okay, so again, we did 2 Melissa, 5 lavender, 1 geranium, and 1 vetiver. And I'm just going to add now some fractionated coconut oil to that. And hopefully I won't spill all over the place because this is a little bit harder out of a bottle. So for me, I like to get a lot of small little sample vials and roller bottles because I really like to play around with my blends. And I don't know if you know this about creating blending, you probably do, but you need to let your blend sit. Okay, so once you create a blend, you honestly almost want to let it sit overnight before you try to use it. And the reason is that the oils begin to marry, or they begin to mix together. And over time, the chemistry of these oils are going to create a blend that aromatically may be a little bit different than what you get when you first put them together. And I learned this years ago in massage school because I used to play a lot with blending. So I'm going to pull the camera back up again, and we're going to talk for a second about the application of this little spring fever blend. 1 drop of Melissa, 5 drops of lavender, 2 Melissa, 5 lavender, 1 geranium, 1 vetiver. That's what I'm starting with. And I've added a little bit of fractionated coconut oil. So I put mine in a roller so I can apply it. And what I'm going to find out is if my roller bottle works. Oh, yeah, it is coming out just a little bit. Some of these roller bottles work better than others. I'm sure you all have found that. This is an interesting combo. So what I'm trying to do is create a blend that is going to lighten it up, going to help me basically balance myself. Now, I'm going to just let you know that I had created this blend, and you can see it's just not full in the bottle. I've just done this to try to experiment a little bit. But if you think about consciously what these oils are for and what their purpose is, when we combine essential oils in our own little blends, where and doTERRA's blends are fabulous, don't get me wrong, they're amazing, and you can't replace those or replicate them in my experience, but it's fun to make your own blend now and then to address something that you think is important. So when I look at Melissa, vetiver, lavender, and geranium, what I'm trying to do is identify a way to lift up, to spiritually lift us up, to ground us down, to help us communicate our story of what's happening for us, and to bring us back into our heart to realize everything is exactly as it should be now. It's springtime, it's spring fever, and when that happens, we just need to be aware that there are changes. There's winds of change that are all around us. So in this case with the roller bottle, I'm going to continue to see how my blend evolves. I would love any feedback that you all have about this blend and what your thoughts are on it. I'm going to actually take the roller bottle off for a second because I really want to smell this and make sure that it smells right in case I need to change the recipe. Because aromatically, of course, it has to be pleasing. And I could be missing some crucial thing. Actually, it's interesting. It's a blend that I'm putting a little bit on my hands in case you're wondering what I'm doing with my open roller bottle. Um, and when we rub our hands together, helps the oils open. I like that already. Actually, I like the vetiver with it because I like vetiver. Kind of grounds that high Melissa. Woo, Melissa's a high note. So I would suggest that, again, try playing with that blend today. See if you can come up with your own spring fever blend and use it in your practice. Try it to start for your meditation practice. See how it works for you in yoga to help people understand the energy of spring and how they can create something beautiful using just 4 simple essential oils and create something wonderful. I hope that this is a fun project for you. I hope that you'll tune in a little bit, think about how you can use your oils to create an impact for you emotionally and help you address the shifts that happen every day as we move through life together. So I wish you all a wonderful day. Namaste.